Winter came a little early this year. Stayed a lot longer than I was ready for. Summer might be just around the corner, but there's nothing here to warm me anymore. Oh, when you left, you turned off the heat. When you left, you turned off the heat. There's an ill wind blowing through the empty hallways, giving me shivers, chilling me to the bone. My life, I used to feel so inspired, but I don't feel that fire since you're gone. Oh, when you left, you turned off the heat. When you left, you turned off the heat. Since you're gone, I'm feeling the freeze. When you left, you turned off the heat. Where's the heat? I'm starting to freeze. Must be down to 0 degrees. So cold! Look at that frozen teardrop shattering a million pieces on my floor. So cold to take away my sunshine and leave your watching footprints on my soul. When you left, you turned off the heat. When you left, you turned off the heat. Since you're gone, I'm feeling the freeze. When you left, you turned off the heat. When you left, you turned off the heat. When you left, I turned off. Winter came a little early this year. Stayed a lot longer than I was ready for.
Tonight, this morning, my special guest is the voice of Dr. Hook, Dennis Locorriere. Dennis has been with us for an hour. We've had some great songs, and he has played, I thought, the most amazing acoustic version. And if you just joined us, you missed it. When You're in Love with a Beautiful Woman.
It's a folk version. The folk version.
I didn't even say you could dance to that. Just with the guitar, you know.
Again, when you do it with the guitar, you have to really make sure that you have songs that actually say something. So there are lyrics, because that's really all you're dealing with, are stories and songs, you know. And you know, whether it's Kiss blowing people up or Alice Cooper or whatever, it really is basically a guy singing a song.
Yeah.
And I'm lucky that that's all I've ever really been. You know, if I
don't have to wear makeup.
No, man, if I was in one of those glam rock bands and I had to come back here and rat my hair up and paint the beauty mark and cram my ass into those red spandex pants, James, I would do us both a favor and stay home.
Alan Perry from Worcestershire emailed us. If you want to email Dennis, and Dennis, of course, has got a great website. The address is?
Well, you can get to it by just going to DennisLocorriere.com.
There you go.
But then there's a good fan site that you connect to from there. That's really cool.
Alan emailed us. He said, Alan, would you like to say thank you to Dennis for helping his wife, Jean, to get over a serious illness, for all the kind emails and personal messages and all the pleasure over the past 30 years?
That's cool. That was what I was saying to you about a little earlier about the guest book.
Yeah.
That these people now that have kind of like met each other, like through, you know, being on there to chat about me, don't even talk about me anymore. They're just like this big support group for each other. It's really cool.
Some clever so-and-so emailed us and said, wasn't that guy just singing a song from a soap powder advert on the telly?
What's that?
I think When You're in Love with a Beautiful Woman, they did.
Is it?
I think they did,
Did they? I remember
think
they used
did.
Sexy Eyes for a cat food commercial, and I was looking for a reason to drop that song anyway.
But no, if they'd used it, you would have got a fat check.
Yeah,
No,
well,
no,
or
this-
at least to back a truck up to my home
Yeah.
full of boxes of soap powder, but no.
You'd think so, wouldn't you, really?
Well, I'll ask my friend Even, who wrote the song. Maybe he's swimming in detergent now, and I don't even know it.
Yeah, I'm just looking through the emails, and again, everybody, we were talking about this before, saying, thank you so much for the last 30 years.
That's pretty nice.
You
I mean,
changed my life.
Well, but the funny thing is that when you're in the studio and you're singing and you're doing these songs, you're just trying to do a good job. I mean, you're not really trying to change anybody's life. That's one of the perks. When somebody says, I was in the hospital and I listened to your album constantly and it got me through, that's great. But I mean, believe me, that was never the intention. I mean, you don't go into it with such a noble cause, but if it turns into that, that's great.
Margaret in Edinburgh, you're on the air through to Dennis.
Hi, Dennis.
Hi, Margaret. How are you, dear?
Fine, fine.
What are you doing up so late?
Listening to you.
Okay. What's up? Can I help you with something?
No, I'm looking forward to Saturday and seeing you in Glenrothes.
Oh, great. That'll be great. Yeah, I love coming up to Scotland to play. You guys are just like, I never have to guess what you think. You know what I mean? I said to somebody on the radio this morning, I was doing an interview with somebody in Aberdeen, and I said, the Scots are great because if they don't like you, they'll kill you, and if they do like you, they may kill you anyway. Just tear your head off out of sheer affection. But I like audiences like that. I mean, I make my intentions pretty well known when I come out on stage, and you guys never make me guess whether you're liking it or not, I mean, you pretty much tell me right away, so I'll see you there.
And I was going to ask you, see when you were growing up, were you surrounded by music in the house, or?
Not surrounded by it, but I was started to say this earlier. I was raised by a lot of women, my mom and her sisters and my grandmother and stuff, and mostly what I heard was like my mom and her sisters would go to over to New York City and go to plays like Camelot or stuff like that, and then they'd come home with the soundtrack album, and I would listen to those things, and I would just see how they were affected by all that stuff, and so my aesthetic wound up being that. So my mom was a big music fan. She wasn't a musician, but she was into great singers like Dinah Washington and Sam Cooke and all this stuff. So I grew up, I guess it wasn't a lot of music in the house, but my mom really did make me appreciate it because she just loved it so much. And she was young. My mom was only 19 when I was born. So by the time I was 4 or 5, 6 years old and paying any attention, she was just a young girl. So she was like, a lot of the kids today to buy records, only she was my mom,
And she would be so pleased when you went into the music business then, was she?
Well, she tried to talk me out of it like all good moms, telling you, oh, you don't want to do that. It's a heartbreaking business. And I said, well, Mom, if I'm going to receive any heartbreak, let it at least be for something I understand and I think it's worth it. Yeah, she passed away about 10 years ago, but she was absolutely my biggest fan. As a matter of fact, when I disbanded the group and came off the road, you would have thought I ended her career. She was completely shattered because she used to call radio stations and make requests. And after she passed away, I found this cassette in her belongings, and I kept fast forwarding the cassette, and it was that song, When You're in Love with a Beautiful Woman, over and over and over again. And I thought, why does she have this one cassette on this over and over of just this song? And then one day, about a year or so after she passed away, I actually just put the cassette on and listened to it, and what it was it was going up the charts. So they would say, this is Casey Kasem in New York, and this week at number 27, Dr. Hook, When You're in Love, and then the next one was, and this week at number 23. So she had an entire tape of that song going up the charts, and it finally made some sense to me, though.
Oh, very good.
I'll see you in a couple of days.
I'll see you on Saturday.
Cool, great.
Right, bye.
Thanks, Margaret. Bye-bye. I was just looking at all the calls coming in, and you have a huge following of ladies.
Yeah, well, that's good. That's good, I guess. And it's nice because the guys don't exactly find me threatening, which is nice.
Yeah, but I would have thought the music of Dr. Hook as well was music guys would listen to too, with a sort of country feel.
Yeah,
Country
it was.
rock.
It definitely was. I mean, it's not like it's a Barry Manilow audience where it's just women and stuff like that. But I think what it is a lot of the women will actually call. Guys might not. Might not want to call.
Okay, and you're appearing obviously in Scotland this coming weekend.
Yes.
A lot of calls coming in from Scotland. We'll take some more in a moment. If you want to join Dennis on the air, speak to him 08704 20 20 20. Let's have another bit of music, shall we? What do you fancy?
Okay, I'll play a country song. This is a country song that Waylon Jennings convinced us to record. It's a song written by a duet called Johnny and Jack. And when we recorded this song, I did the lead vocal and Waylon did the harmony. And he did the harmony so well that I wanted to do the lead again. And then after I did the lead again, he went, well, that's better than mine, and he wanted to do, and then the producer threw us out of there because we'd still be recording it now. The days have been long, and I have been lonesome, recalling the dreams that never came true. The nights have been lonely, but now that's all over, 'cause I paid my debt for trusting in you. Every day your memory grows dimmer, clouds drift away, sunshine peeps through. Every night, no longer you'll haunt me, my conscience is clear. Oh, what about you? To believe that you are the same one that I love so much and I held so true. It's hard to know I've worshipped the wrong one, but I paid for it. Oh, what about you? Every day your memory grows dimmer, clouds drift away, sunshine peeps through. Every night, no longer you'll haunt me, my conscience is clear. Oh, what about you? Every night, no longer you'll haunt me, my conscience is clear. Oh, what about you? Thanks.
That
good song.
What sort of guitar is that?
This is a Takamine guitar. Yeah.
That has. I mean, it's unmistakably you playing as well.
That's cool. That's nice to know. You know. I mean, lately, funny, maybe because I'm out there alone, but lately I've been hearing a lot about the guitar playing and the songwriting, where through the rest of my career it was always about the singing.
Yeah.
Which is great. I'm happy that people think I'm a good singer, but you know.
My astute buddy over there who's sees himself as a bit of a musician.
So Ash?
Yeah, I dabble a bit.
You dabble. Don't we all, Ash? Don't we all?
He said,
I dabble for a living.
He said he can have two microphones if he wants, you know, one on the guitar, one on the voice, and I don't think it you know, the whole balance sounds great to me.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't pay to get in. What do I care?
I was saying to the guys in here, you know, sometimes you get a musician in and they don't know, you know, on one mic they might play too loud or sing too loud, but you know, he's such a consummate professional.
You see that? You see that?
It sounds like two mics with one.
I told you I was an only child, man. I'm used to being alone.
Do you remember when we've had people in here who's, I can't do it in there, and I need to plug this in, I need to plug that in, and I need to. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Oh.
Your real
man, but
musicians
see,
will
the
just
cool
come and play.
Well, the cool thing about carrying an acoustic guitar around is that I'm self-contained.
Exactly.
If I needed brown rice and incense and a $5,000 Persian rug to go on with the show, what the hell would be the point, you know?
It's so lucky your mum didn't get you to play the piano.
No, that's true. And another thing is you couldn't borrow a piano. When I was a kid, I could always borrow somebody's guitar for a little while, but you could never. I started off as a drummer.
Yeah.
But one day I was plunking around on a guitar and some little girl said, "Ooh, you look just like the Beatles." And I thought, well, the hell with them drums.
Emails going, you know, most of which say, what about Sylvia? Well, I'm going to ask him to sing Sylvia's Mother, but I'm going to keep it going, you know, for a bit, because, you know, you have to build up to that.
Sylvia's mother is still alive, by the way.
Is she?
Yes, I had a Dutch TV station.
It was written about a particular...
Yes, Shell wrote about a person named Sylvia, and it was a story that, you know, was basically true. And she... One time, I never heard her, but one time Shell was around some of the other guys in the band around the Christmas holiday, and he called Sylvia's mother on the phone. And Sylvia was there for the holidays, and some of the guys on the phone got to actually hear both their voices. And I'm kind of glad all these years that I never did. It's a little bit like, you know, seeing the Loch Ness Monster or discovering Bigfoot or something. It's a little too legendary for me.
What did Shel Silverstein think of the way you sang Sylvia's Mother?
I think he liked it. I think it's what led to me doing the play. I did a one-man play of Shell's.
We're going to take a break. We'll come back and talk about the play.
Okay,
We haven't talked
okay,
about that after
okay.
this.
Do you have the time to sit? We can just catch up a bit. Tell me what's been happening in your life. I could tell you my sad story, but I'd rather hear about you instead of singing yesterday's blues. So please don't get me started, 'cause you don't want to know how long and dark the night can be, how low a man can go when his heart's been torn to pieces. He's troubled and confused, but there I go singing yesterday's blues. So how's the world been treating you? Did you find what you were looking for? And did I hear somebody say you fell in love and moved away? Now you're not looking backwards anymore. Well, you've seen so many changes, but with me there's nothing new. Honey, I'm still singing yesterday's blues. Yeah! So please don't get me started, 'cause you don't want to know how long and dark the night can be, how low a man can go when his heart's been torn to pieces. He's troubled and confused, 'cause the one he loves has run away and he don't know what to do. Please don't get me started, 'cause you don't want to see the bitter tears of a lonely fool who's lost in misery. It's not a pretty picture, and I will not put you through another word of yesterday's blues. Hey, that's enough of yesterday's blues. You're so yesterday. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
be. I can't help but think about how it ought to be. That's enough of yesterday's blue.
Hey, that was great, Dennis. Where can we get this CD, Dennis?
Right now, you can get it just at the gigs, but soon it will be available on the website. Because we were just going to do the limited edition, but I've been getting emails from Australia, and people have been trying to get people here to buy one and send it. So we'll make it available after the holidays or just before the holidays or something.
And if the Gallagher brothers are listening, we know they listen to this show since they were so rude about the lovely Kylie Minogue, and I won't hear a word said against her.
Were they rude? The Gallagher brothers were rude? That's hard to believe.
Weren't they?
Apparently his record is available now on the website.
Oh, good. It's available now on the website.
See that? I was so in tune with my own career, but at least I'm not a good shill. You know what I mean? Nothing, even if it's for me to sell, I don't even know it's available, so...
Anyway, listen, the Gallagher brothers take note that this is real music being played on a real guitar, something they say nobody else can do and only they can do. all they can do is imitate what was done in the 60s, man. That's what they can do.
You know, it's funny because everything's derivative. If it's derivative of something you like, though, who cares, you know? But they don't even like each other. You can't expect them to like anybody else.
And how anyone can hate Kylie, I have no idea. Wouldn't that be great? Listen, I've come up with two great ideas, Ash. I want to do the first of all. I think "When You're in Love with a Beautiful Woman" should be done as a dance track. Yeah, and that'd be a huge hit.
Yep,
and
with a rap in the middle.
Yeah,
and I think
Shaggy do the rap in the middle.
Shaggy. And I think Dennis should do a duet with Kylie. I reckon that would be really great.
Oh, I think she's probably out of my league, though.
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
I mean, she did one. She was in a hot tub with Robbie Williams. Nobody goes from Robbie Williams to me.
Well,
you know, I don't know. No, I'm not saying I wouldn't do it.
You know, having Robbie's seconds.
Yeah, well, no, it's not even that. It's not even that. You know what I mean? Because, you know, Robbie Williams. I mean, if you go with anybody now, it's going to be Robbie's seconds. He won't leave any of them alone.
Yeah. Actually, Dennis and I were talking about sort of current state of music, and everybody go, oh, yeah. Apparently, Tony Blackburn was heard to say the other day that music is much better now than it used to be, which I really can't see.
Well, he said pop music is better now, and then this comment he made, and I like Tony. I mean, I don't know him, but I mean, I respect him. He's been in the business a long time. But he said, you know, they're much more entertaining now. They used to just stand there with those guitars. Who? The Stones? The Beatles? They were playing those guitars. You're more likely to be standing there with it now, you know.
The Who?
The Who, yeah.
The Who?
They didn't stand there with them very long, did they?
No.
No, I mean, I can't see who any, you know.
I think maybe what he meant, I don't know, but maybe what he meant is that the technical side of music now is, you could do almost anything now.
Yeah, but you could do that in film, too. I mean, it kills the incentive, though. You know, who's going to learn to juggle 3 balls when you can take, you know, digital animation and juggle 2 million?
But the good thing maybe for you as well, Dennis, is that you don't need a band anymore, because with the new technology, you can have the whole lot. That you
see that? I don't need a band anymore. That's good. Yeah. You know, I'm so happy to be doing this acoustic tour. I like the camaraderie of a band, but I just don't. You
can even do your own backing vocals.
That's true.
Can't you?
That's true. That's true. I could do it all by myself, and nobody would even wonder about it anymore.
No.
I remember they ran ELO off the road years ago because Jeff Lynne had some of those cellos on tape. And now, I mean, you know, nobody does anything live. I mean, you know, they sing, they dance, and nobody's really doing anything. It's just like a big show. It's unbelievable.
Dennis Locorriere is the voice of Dr. Hook. He's with me this evening. He's on tour in this country until next March. He's coming up to Scotland at the weekend. Marie in Glasgow, hi.
Hi, it's Marty in Glasgow.
Hello, Mary?
Hi.
Hi, Mary. How are you?
How are you?
I'm good. I'm going to be in Glasgow next year.
Yeah, great. Listen, my husband introduced me to you, well, he wasn't my husband at the time, at the Apollo in Glasgow in 1978.
Uh-huh.
And oh God, you blew me away when you come on your own and you sang Sylvia's Mother.
Thanks. Yeah, see, I've always done those solo things, even in Dr. Hook.
Come on and you did that. Oh, it was totally unreal. I've seen like Dr. Hook and yourself about 3 times after that.
Uh-huh.
Then I've seen Ray with the boys on his own.
Right.
And we came and saw you at the Pavilion on your own in Glasgow, and you were brilliant, and we just totally love you all.
Thank you.
But what happened? I mean, why aren't you Dr. Hook anymore?
Oh, you know, I mean, we were on the road 300 days a year for 15 years, and I just wanted it to be something else. I mean, you know, I'm happy with my past. I'm proud of it, but I want it to be my past. I mean, I don't want to do this until I'm just tired of it all, you know. And I'm just having a good time now, being solo. And you know, Ray's out there with a band that he calls Dr. Hook, and I hope people go see him and have a good time. But I just have no interest in going back. I'd rather struggle along with the future than lean too heavily on the past.
Are you and Ray friends?
Not really. I mean, we're not enemies, but I haven't seen Ray in a long time. You know, when you're in a band like that and everybody's doing everything for the common good, it's like when you're in the army and you're down in the foxhole with the bullets going over your head, and everybody swears that when the war's over you'll have a barbecue. And as soon as the war's over, everybody goes home and everybody wishes everybody the best. But you know, Ray and I were like one huge person for years.
Yeah.
And nobody ever grows up to aspire to be half of something. So I think we're both probably happy to be out there on our own now.
Dennis, you have such a brilliant voice.
Thank you.
We really love you.
Thank you. Well, I'll see you soon then.
Yeah, you will.
Okay, cool. Say hi. Is he still your husband, that gentleman?
My husband, yeah, for 20 years.
Oh, he's back there going, you're damn right I am.
Yes.
Well, listen, I have nothing to apologize for.
No, not at all.
So listen, Mary,
Yeah.
in a moment I'm going to ask him to sing Sylvia's Mother, so stay tuned.
Thank you, James.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Let's talk about the play, because that's what you did not so long ago. I mean, your friendship with Shel Silverstein caused him to write a one-man play for you.
Well, you know, he had written this poem, and it was called The Devil and Billy Markham, and I think they printed it in Playboy or some magazine. Then a few years later, he kind of adapted it into a play. And he called me out of the blue one day, and he said to me, they want to put this play on at Lincoln Center, and they want me to start auditioning actors, and I don't want to deal with actors. You'll do this play, right? And I said, Shel, I can't. I don't know how to do this. He said, no, you'll be great. You understand how I think. And, you know, it's what we were talking about earlier when he gave me all these great story songs when I was a kid, and he trusted me with them. And so I said, Shel, I don't really know if I could do this. Lincoln Center, I mean, people act their whole lives and don't wind up here. I'm going to start there. And he was adamant about it. And I thought, well, you know, this guy's an intelligent guy. He's not going to give me his play and let me go to Lincoln Center for an exclusive sold-out run and ruin it. So I kind of just went on his confidence in me, and it was great. It was a great thing to do. You know, I said to him, how long will I be on stage? And he said, 10 or 15 minutes. And it was like this hour-long, it was like 56 pages.
He lied to you.
Oh, yeah. He was at 56 pages of this poem. So if you lost your way, which fortunately I didn't do too often, you had to find your way back in rhythm and rhyme.
And you learned this?
I learned it.
You didn't read it each night?
No, and I'll tell you what I did, because I had a feeling that the theater people would be thinking, oh yeah, sure, a friend of the writers, that's how this, you know, failed pop star has gotten this play. And they told me, because it was only me in a one-man show, that I could come up to New York and I could read it on stage for a couple of weeks while they did blocking lights and stuff like that. And what I did before I ever left Nashville was I learned the entire thing, because I wanted them to know I was serious about it. So I was supposed to rehearse with Shel for a couple of days and then turn me over to the director. And the very first day I was there, the director said, okay, we'll have lunch, and when you get back, you can, Dennis will read us the play. And when they got back from lunch, they all sat at this big production table, and I put the play face down on the table, and I recited most of it. Only had to go to the play 2 or 3 times, and I felt like I needed to do that, so they wouldn't think, you know, I was, like I said, a friend of the writers, and I wanted them to know right away that they could, you know, not worry about me so much. And it was cool. It was great. What a great response I got. And, you know, I wasn't in the theater world, and nobody knew from Dr. Hook, so it wasn't like anybody had any preconceived notions. As a matter of fact, a friend of mine sat in the audience, and one night he said when I went off stage, there was these 2 elderly ladies looking through the brochure, and he heard one of them say to the other, I don't know, it says here he used to be a doctor. So they didn't have any idea what I used to be, and that was really great for me, because all I had known was Dr. Hook. And I didn't even know that I'd have a creative life after Dr. Hook. So for me to be pleasing and entertaining to people in a forum that I'd never been in before, it really gave me a lot of confidence.
And I mean, was it an acting role? Did you come on and were there moves, or was it?
Oh yeah, no, I'd come out and I came out, I only had a few props. I had a bucket, a mop, and a harmonica in my pocket. And I came out in this old coat and pretty much started cleaning up the stage. And people were still talking. And then the lights would start coming down on me, and people would start noticing, hey, wait a minute, the lights are coming down on the janitor, or whoever the hell they thought I was. And I'd start to tell them this story. And in this story, I played Billy Markham, who's a songwriter, and I played the devil, and I played God, who was a pool hustler, and his agent, the scuzzy little guy who was his agent. And I got to play 4 or 5 characters in the confines of this play, and change characters and stuff like that. But it was really great. I mean, it showed me stuff about myself I didn't even know.
And you've never thought about doing it in this country?
Actually, I didn't right away, because, you know, it's funny, when I was done doing that play, it made me think about getting on stage again and doing what I do now. But I've recently been talking to a director in New York about possibly putting that together again and doing it in New York, Chicago, London, and Sydney. And so maybe in the next few years, and it's good because it's not something I feel like I better hurry up and do. But I'd love to do some more of that, yeah.
We'll take a break. Back after this.
Late night virtual chat at Midnight Secret.
Ain't it sweet, ain't it nice, when a day comes along so bright that it opens your eyes. It's so rare, but it's there now and then. When it's real, you feel sure, and you start to believe that you'll never be sad anymore. But just when you think you know, guess again. Guess again, and you find it'll change every time you relax. Just when you settle in, and your life will begin to run steadily off of the tracks. And just about the time you think the world has got the best of you, guess again. Oh, guess again. I said do. Oh, yeah. Do. No need to refrain. Have his fun in the sun, but you better watch out for the rain. 'Cause just when you think you know, guess again. That's right. Guess again, and you'll find it'll change every time you relax. Just when you settle in, and your life will begin to run steadily off of the tracks. Just about the time you think the world has got the best of you, guess again. That's right, guess again. I said do.